Hey, my blessed babies, what's goody? My mind is buzzing as it does sometimes, and it's just rolling around and thinking of things. And um, there's something that I wanted to share while it's on my mind. So I feel like the energy now that's going around is a lot of people like there's a shift of people who are waking up and they're recognizing things because I feel like this happens every so often where something circulates back around and like a new group of people wake up like each um, I don't know how often it happens, but I feel like there's certain times in the universe where it opens up where people are shifted. So they're shifted into waking up, or they're shifted into um, the next level of their life after they have woken up and things of that sort. So I feel like we're in a little bit of two different phases. We're in a phase where there's a group of people who are phasing out of their spiritual education, as if like they have awakened now and they're finding themselves. So they're boot camp, that's what's coming up. So spiritual boot camp is over for some people, as to where the spiritual boot camp is getting new recruits. So this part is for the people that are coming in as new recruits. um, there's a lot that y'all are probably experiencing, and one of the things that's coming up for me to relate to y'all is when you start recognizing people and you start pinpointing people to the things that they do to you or others, and you start telling people about themselves, things are going to start happening. You might start feeling more spiritual attacks. You might start feeling more emotional and mental attacks. You may even be physically attacked. Um, but don't stop believing in the Most High. Don't stop believing in your journey and your purpose. Don't let those things get to you. In my experience, um, in the past, I didn't know what it meant, but now that I'm more open and I'm more awakened, I understand things now, and I can look back and say, oh, okay, so that's what that was. That's what that person was doing. Okay. So the thing that I got just now was about gifts. I'm not talking about, our spiritual gifts or our mental gifts or anything like that. This is like actual physical gifts, like presents, like, hey, I got you something. And I hate to say this message right now because I actually did get a sentimental gift. Well, I didn't get it, but a relative of mine had got a sentimental gift yesterday from our friends, and it's like, oh man, this message about gift giving is coming out right as we got a gift, but this has nothing to do with them. So they're precious souls. But what I'm speaking about right now in this video has to do with the the fact that there are people in this world that read the Bible. I'm gonna probably veer off topic, so just hang on with me. But sometimes I have to veer off topic to get out what I'm trying to say. So there are people that read the Bible, which nothing is wrong with reading the Bible. But there are people who read bits and pieces of the Bible and then try to use that to justify the actions that they do that are negative. Now, I don't know how many people look at my community posts, but I'm always jotting down things in there, and I say little things, whether they're random or factual or nonsense or whatever. I just flow sometimes just to get stuff out. And one of the things that I heard it a while back while I was actually watching something, and it said the devil reads the Bible too. The devil knows the Bible too, especially the book of Psalms, if I'm not mistaken, but he knows the Bible inside and out. So it's easy for nasty, narcissistic, evil people to also read the Bible. And when they do this, they read certain parts of the Bible and then they twist those words into meaning something evil in order to cohort their evilness. And it's funny because yesterday I was listening to something. I was listening to Bible verses on self-control, and the book of Titus popped up, and I was listening to a scripture in there, and I think it's First Titus or Titus 1, and it's in chapter, it may be chapter 1 or chapter 2, and verses from 8 or from verses 2 to 11 or something like that. And in that verse, it was talking about how people actually take the Bible, read it, and then twist it, and then use it for evil plots. And it was talking about how leaders, if leaders do this, they're not a true leader, they're not of God, and they're not of what they speak of, and those people have to be dethroned or denounced. Now, like I said, I got off topic, so we're going to bring this back to the gift giving. There is a passage in the Bible that says people that do sins, if they go ahead and they do a good deed, it'll wash over their sin that they have committed. Now, I don't know how true this is because I haven't got that deep into the Bible, but I do know that I've heard people use that verse, and I've seen people use that verse, and I've seen evil people do evil things and then turn around, go get a gift, or turn around and invite someone somewhere, or take someone out, or do something kind, but that there's not a good intent behind it. The intent is to just wash over things, to put a cap in it, to stick a pin in it, because that person is going to go and do that same thing again. Normally, these people that live by this Bible verse and use this Bible verse in that type of way, they are repeat offenders of doing their sins and their evilness. This is why I get weary of accepting gifts from people. I've tested things too. Because I'm a scientist in my own head. In my own damn head, I'm a scientist. I don't care. Because the moment that you do these things where you observe, you report, you put a what is it, a hypothesis together. Can't even get it out. Y'all know what I'm trying to say though. Anytime you're doing that, to me, you automatically become a scientist, because that's what scientists do. You're observing and reporting, whatever. But I'll be putting stuff together, and I watch people put themselves into that category, and that's how I figure out who is who. Sometimes you have to do little lab experiments on people, just as they do to you, in order to counteract or undo what they're trying to do. But I'm just trying to educate people on being mindful of who they accept things from. So if you know that you have a little bit of bad blood with the person and they're trying to give you gifts, and you don't want to be mean and you accept it, I advise you to either throw it out, or you pray over it and cleanse it or whatever. But just be mindful. And then if you don't believe me, you can watch videos on YouTube about it. There are movies about it. We all know the little different movies, scary movies about people getting an item and then becoming possessed by that item, or someone, or like the movie, what's that? Was that a show or a movie? There was a show or movie on Netflix where the woman was gifted a teddy bear for her child, but it was really a nanny cam. Things like that. Yeah, things like that. Because the world is weird. So that's all I wanted to share with y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.